Eish. So Bafana lose their first game at AFCON 2019. And like, what went wrong? Shabafetu, it's your boy Cheese here with another video. Happy whichever day it is when this video reaches you. So Bafana Bafana played the Ivory Coast in the opening game of their AFCON campaign on Monday afternoon. The Elephants came away 1-0 winners on the day in a game where both teams didn't create many chances. But on the balance of play, we have to say that Ivory Coast deserved the win. So what went wrong for Bafana Bafana? I could say a few things went wrong for Bafana Bafana, starting off with the starting 11. Stuart Baxter started with you could say a 4-2-3-1 formation, with the two in midfield being Kamohelo Mokojo and Dean Furman, and in front of him, the three in front of him was Lebohang Mabwe, Themba Zwane, and Pesitao, and our striker was Lebohang Mutiba. So the issues I had with this formation is that, as much as, before we get there, let's try to analyze what Stuart Baxter's thinking might have been. Lebohang Mabwe and Themba Zwane have played in the CAF Champions League, of course, with Mamelodi Sundowns in the past 3 seasons. Mamelodi Sundowns have been successful in that tournament, so I suppose he felt that they might have experience in games in Africa against African opponents, and also they are very creative players who can also score goals. But the problem is, they are very creative, but they all want the ball to feed. So this is Pesitao, Themba Zwane, and Lebohang Mabwe. They all want the ball to feed so they can create something. So if you all want the ball to feed, who exactly are you creating the chances for? None of them were running behind the Ivory Coast defense. It was very easy for Ivory Coast to defend them because they were all coming towards the ball. And another issue was our two midfielders, Kamohelo Mokojo and Dean Furman, also quite similar. Tukumirisu was on Supersport after the game saying something that I only saw when I watched the game again, is that every time the ball would be switched to the other flank or whatever, they both follow the ball. They all want the ball. The one doesn't go, one doesn't stick in the midfield or stay in the midfield to play those passes. And their passing ability, I wouldn't say is the best, or as far as I can say, apparently Kamohelo Mokojo is some expert passer. But from what I saw yesterday, I cannot say that I agree with that. But that was only one game, so I cannot fault him for that. I felt that Ivory Coast weren't playing at their best, and if Stuart Baxter tweaked his formation a little bit in the second half, we might have had more opportunities. But I cannot fault our front line of Lebohang Mutiba and Pesitao and Lebohang Mabwe and Themba Zwane, because they didn't have much supply from our midfielders, and our tactics were very narrow. We did not try to spread them. We did not try to open Ivory Coast via the flanks. Our defense played well. I liked the way Mkize played. He played very confident, and Hlanti also was very confident on his side, but they were a bit cautious of getting forward because they were a bit scared of the pace of Max Gradel and also Pepe, who was giving us problems in the first half, but he cooled down in the second half. But all in all, I think this is a game that we could have done better in. I felt that Stuart Baxter could have made some decisions, especially in the midfield. He could have opted for players with a little bit more pace and players who are willing to run behind the defense. But unfortunately, this was not the case. His substitutions also didn't make much of an impact. He brought on Vilagazi with like 20 minutes to go. Vilagazi is a very good player, and he did make somewhat of a difference, but I suppose it was a little bit too late for him to make as big of a difference as he would have made if he was in the game earlier. He also took off Lebhang Mutiba to put on the striker Ludwig or something like that. I don't know how do you say his name. I was thinking to myself, why not keep them both in? And they both tall, big strikers. They could cause problems in the defense of Ivory Coast, which looked shaky, especially with set pieces. They did not look convincing at all. So now the situation is Morocco is on top of the group with 3 points after they beat Namibia 1-0. Cote d'Ivoire are second after they beat us 1-0. Then it's Namibia and South Africa with both 0 points. South Africa will play Namibia later on this week. They need the 3 points there. It's not even a question of maybe it's Ronyana or something. It's 3 points or we're going home. We should pack our bags like the Proteas and we'll be waiting for them at the OR Tambo. They need these 3 points. It's always difficult if you lose the first game, but there's still 2 games to go. And I feel that South Africa, even though Cote d'Ivoire, of course, have the better players, they played, let me not say played well, but did okay in the first match. Now we need 6 points for us to go through to the next round. And let's hope we can do that. Anyway, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. There will be more videos like this coming to you daily. From me, Tarang Cheese, it's sayonara.